Hey guys, welcome back to another episode. So today, wait a minute, I'm still wearing my mask. Let me just get rid of it. Much better. Alright, so today in this video, I'm going to be talking about how you can protect your money from the coronavirus so that this doesn't happen. Yeah, this is the last thing you want to happen, so you need to watch to learn how you can employ strategies to protect your money. Alright, so before we begin, let me first state a disclaimer. This video is not meant to exaggerate the impact or to cause any sort of fear or panic about the coronavirus. It is meant to teach you guys practical steps on what you can do to protect your money, your assets, your income. Alright, so let's begin. So first things first, we got to understand the virus. Why? Because by understanding the virus, we do not expose ourselves and our loved ones to the virus unnecessarily, and at the same time, we do not spend excessive amount of money to protect ourselves. Like this person.
越快越好。
行，那咱们就走5团了。
Not to mention, during this period of time, a lot of people will start to take advantage of this sad situation and sell overpriced masks, overpriced protective gear, and you do not want to fall scam to all this equipment. You just need to buy what's necessary for yourself. So, what do we know about the coronavirus? As of now, unfortunately, not much, because this is a new virus. What scientists have done is to try to identify possible traits of this virus by comparing it to similar viruses that we already know. Our best guess as of now is that it does not spread through the air, it's not airborne, but it is likely that it spreads through water droplets. Meaning to say, if someone sneezes and you inhale those water droplets, you might get the virus. That being said, if you know that it transmits through water droplets and it is not airborne, it is now not necessary to buy like expensive oxygen mask, N95 mask. Maybe you could settle for just a surgical mask, and that should get majority of the protection from the virus. So the second thing that we understand about this virus as of now is that it could possibly stay on surfaces. Meaning to say, if someone is infected, they sneeze on their hand, they put their hand on the table, you do not want to touch the table and touch your face. You might get infected. We don't know how long this virus stays on the table, how transmittable it is through surfaces, but the general consensus is you want to wash your hands a lot more often these days, minimize physical contact with people and the things around you, especially in affected areas. So this is what we should prioritize rather than buying, the most expensive equipment. So that's the first tip, to know the virus so that you can maximize, to stretch your dollar and really protect what is necessary and not fall into scams. So now that we know how the virus works, how it spreads, we then now can protect ourselves and our loved ones from getting the virus. Because ultimately, if you fall prey to the coronavirus, no amount of money can protect you, because we don't know how do we even cure this virus at this point of time. Again, I reiterate, this video is not meant to scare you. If you understand the virus, and you look carefully, who are the ones that are being affected most? It is the elderly and the vulnerable people which have very weak immune system that will fall prey to the victim. Of course, as healthy individuals, we also do not want to become carriers of this virus and spread the virus unnecessarily. Alright, so protect yourself and your loved ones. Know the virus. And the second thing is to protect your income. What do I mean by this? Let me give you a simple example, because I run a badminton academy in Singapore, and the last thing I want is my academy to shut down because someone in the academy or one of my coaches is affected by the coronavirus. So how can I protect myself? So here's what we did. We checked with all our coaches if they have recently traveled to highly infected areas like Wuhan or overseas to affected areas during the Chinese New Year break, because Chinese New Year everyone visits their family, so we expected a lot of traveling, which happened, by the way. So we made sure that all our coaches are safe. If required, we told them, you know what, maybe take a week or two off so that to ensure that our academy as a whole can function normally. So what this does is basically it protects my income and in turn protects my coach's income. So how does this affect you? So if you're in a position in which you can control your work environment, try to control your environment in such a way that you protect yourself and minimize your risk of contracting the virus. So for example, if you need to travel to China during this period of time, you might want to see if you can instead maybe do a Skype call at least during this period of time while we don't understand the virus. And if you're able to, work at home instead of going out as often, you might want to reconsider, changing your work schedule or structure so that you don't have to come into contact of likely affected cities if you are in one of those cities. So that's one way you can do to protect your income, and by protecting your income, you protect your money. So let's talk about the third way you can protect your money, and that is to see if you require protection, as in insurance, or not. Right? So because there are high-risk individuals and there are low-risk individuals, and at this point of time, because this virus is so new, insurance companies don't really know how to react to this faster than you do. So what we can do is we can understand if we ourselves are considered high-risk individuals, whether you travel to Wuhan or affected cities very often. Do you come into contact? Are you a doctor? Are you a nurse? Are you in the transportation industry, travel industry?
越快越好。
If you work in this high-risk industries, you might want to consider getting yourself insured. On the other hand, if you are low-risk individuals, don't panic. You don't really need to get, additional insurance just to protect yourself from this virus if the chance of you getting a virus is near zip. So know the risk and be sure to check with your, insurance companies. If, let's say, for example, you're traveling overseas, does your travel insurance cover the event in which you unfortunately fall prey to the coronavirus? Does it cover you? Does it protect your income? Because chances are, even if you're going to be all right, you will probably end up being quarantined by your local government or by the hospitals if you get this virus. So that means a loss of income. So you do want to check with your insurance companies if you're protected through your travel insurance, your health insurance. So as always, if you're unsure, always err on the safe side. Play safe and you should be all right. And the last tip is to consider diversifying your portfolio. So this is in a worst case scenario. Let's look back at 2003 or 2000, I think. And that's when the SARS virus broke out. It lasted for approximately 9 months. And during this period, lots of businesses were affected. And if you are invested in, the stock market, certain stocks were punished very hard, while some other stocks benefited greatly from this. So if you are invested in the stock market, you might want to consider reallocating your stocks, such as, for example, if you are heavily invested in the airline industry, you might want to consider reducing your position there. Let's say, for example, from the Singapore Airlines to another situation like another companies that benefit greatly from this event, such as, for example, rubber gloves, companies that make masks. A simple example of this would be like Top Gloves, Asia's largest rubber glove manufacturer. They have benefited greatly from this. And again, this is not investment advice. I'm not trying to tell you to invest in Top Gloves, but it is my opinion on what I think you could do to reduce your risk of losing money from your stocks falling. All right, so you might want to consider reallocating and rebalancing your portfolio to minimize risk in the event that this virus kind of drags out for a long period of time and affects businesses. With that said, please do me a favor and spread this video, because it is very, very important that we try to help as many people as we can, because right now the unethical business practices is rampant. People are selling $2.50 masks for as much as $15 just so that they can make a profit off the innocent, the people who don't understand this virus. If you're one of these victims, please help your loved ones, help your friends and family, spread this message so that they don't have to suffer and spend unnecessary amount of money on masks such as this, when all you need is possibly something simpler like a surgical mask, and that should protect you from the majority of the threat from this virus. So again, if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe, and by combining our strengths together, we're going to be able to overcome this virus very quickly. Alright, I'll see you again next time, and be sure to subscribe. Ciao, ciao!